There is an enormous development in the Britney Spears conservatorship case. Jamie Spears, we found out, has agreed to step down. This is a monumental move because this is what Britney has been asking for since June 26th, even before. She is at war with her dad, wants him out, and he has now agreed. Now, he is about to file legal documents, and we can tell you what they say.
By the way, it's what Britney has wanted. It's what people around the country have been protesting, have been marching, waving signs about. This is what everyone wanted. And let's get into the detail of why Jamie is finally giving in.
In these documents that he's going to file, Jamie starts by saying that he supported his daughter. He saved his daughter 13 years ago when she was literally circling the drain, and that he has tried to protect her. But then he goes on to say this. Nevertheless, even as Mr. Spears is the unremitting target of unjustified attacks, he does not believe that a public battle with his daughter over his continued service as her conservator would be in her best interest. So even though he must contest this unjustified petition for his removal, Mr. Spears intends to work with the court and his daughter's new attorney to prepare for an orderly transition to a new conservator. Regardless of his formal title, Mr. Spears will always be Ms. Spears' father. He will always love her unconditionally, and he will always look out for her best interest. So this is Jamie Spears basically saying, I can't fight anymore, that it's obvious. He uses two words, Charles, that are really critical here. Best interests. Yes. Those are the key words because there are two things going on. Her lawyer, Matt Rosengart, has suggested that, in fact, said that he believes Jamie has committed a number of misdeeds as conservator, and as a result, he wants him out. That's one reason. The second reason, and this is California law, that if it's not in the best interest of his daughter, whether Jamie did anything wrong or not, he should step down.
Right.
And when you listen to Britney, when you heard her in late June, and you've read all these documents, it's clear she's tormented by him being in the conservatorship. Yeah. And that would mean the best interest would require him to step down.
This is what happened today. I mean, like you said, started that day in June when she testified and we all heard her, and everyone was wondering, well, what was Jamie's response to that going to be? Ever since that day, it's almost like she checkmated him. She laid out exactly how she felt and made it clear that if he fought against it, he was always going to look like the bad guy.
Well, he did.
There was no way to fight against it.
He did fight against it.
He did, and it didn't look good either.
Well, he filed documents a week or so ago. Actually, it was last Friday. Yeah. He filed documents saying Britney lied in her hearing when she talked about being forced by him into a mental health facility, when she talked about being forced to perform. He started disputing all those things. But ultimately, I don't think it matters because it's all about best interest, and Jamie has now co-signed onto that.
I think that's right, Harvey, although there are two pieces to this. I mean, this is a document where he is defending himself. He's going out of his way to say, look, for the past 13 years, I've done well by my daughter. I saved her career. I let her perform when she wanted to perform, and I found ways for her not to perform when she didn't want to perform. And he's also really trashing Lynn Spears, who has filed documents saying Jamie is a micromanager and not doing well. He's saying, you don't know anything. You haven't even been much of a parent for the past 13 years. Really not mincing words here. And he's saying, you're the one who has exploited her, written books about her, so you have no basis to call my actions into question over the past 13 years. And that's interesting because it's going to blunt a little bit of what Britney's new attorney, Matt Rosengart, who is not impressed by this, right? I mean, Matt is saying he's still going to go forward
with
this.
To say the least, here's what Matt says. And we contacted him, and he gave us a statement, and he slams Jamie. We are pleased but not necessarily surprised that Mr. Spears and his lawyer finally recognized that he must be removed. We are disappointed, however, by the ongoing shameful and reprehensible attacks on Ms. Spears and others.
I think this is the most important part, is that he says, we are still going to investigate his conduct as it relates to the expenses in the conservatorship. So
basically they're going to take his deposition, and he's going to have to sit there and he's going to go through all of the things that Rosengart wants him to talk about, involving the business manager and salaries and things like that. So this is a huge deal. And what you need to really kind of focus on now is this was the first part. The first part was Britney wanted to get rid of Jamie. Well, now that's happened. Right. And that is going to happen in September, actually, when the hearing is scheduled. My guess is at that point, September 29th, he's going to formally step down. Now the question, what are they going to do about the conservatorship? And they have not squarely said that they are going to try and end it. Britney has said it, but Rosengart's been very careful in the way that he's constructed this.
He said that's the goal. He said the goal is to end the conservatorship.
But you could argue that the goal is that once she becomes, mentally sound. But I think Britney is saying something different. She says, I want out now. I don't even want a medical evaluation. And so the question is,
he hasn't said that. And by the way, neither is Jody Montgomery.
That's right.
Montgomery has also said we are devising a plan that with the goal of getting her out of the conservatorship. But nobody said, all right, we're going to end the conservatorship on a particular day.
And so now this is on the table. And now they're going to have to make a decision. Do they reconstruct the conservatorship with a new conservator of her estate and make other changes, or do they try to end it entirely? And that's the wild card right now, because Rosengart really has not played his hand yet, although it's pretty clear from Britney, at least, when we heard her in June, that's what she wants. So this is a big development. This is a big development.
Can I tell you something, that there's a tone in what Jamie is saying in his resignation that sounds exactly like if you heard Governor Cuomo.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It is.
No. I thought of exactly the same thing.
Governor Cuomo.
It was exactly the same thing.
This is not, I didn't do anything criminal, and I disagree with this, I disagree with that, but
in the best
interest of New York State, I am going to step down. It's almost like James Spears
I thought the same thing.
And said, you know what? That's what I got to do.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so big development. Now we need to see if the other shoe falls, which is the conservatorship itself. Stay tuned.